Say that the person is not just a client, but really a member of the focusing community. So she's an experienced focuser, and she's quite in charge of her own session. I'm really there as a helper, but she's the focuser. She's in charge. And I want to say that she's very welcoming of her tears, and for she and I both, that we're relieved when she finds the place of tears in a session. So I want to say to you in the audience, it may look painful, her touching on the tears, but that she knows that this is going to be her body's way, her body's path to the healing. And also pay attention that you'll see that she begins feeling very sad, and then there's a shift, what we call a felt shift. And she comes, I think the words are, I just want to dance. And you can feel that something has changed in her body there. And that's the healing. Right in that moment, there's been a step of mind-body healing. So it's wonderful to see, and she's fine.
Well, and I certainly saw that with that experience. It was this, she came to you with a large sack over her shoulder and was straining. And as soon as she was able to recognize what she was hanging on to, she released that, and it was quite visible. The tears began in a very gentle way to flow, and she really was much more peaceful. Yeah, it was wonderful. Well, let's go ahead then and see that episode with her.
So just feel comfortable to close your eyes and take your time. Just coming in tune with whatever's there for you right now. Let me know if you need some help or just when you're ready to begin speaking.
I'm just feeling a little bit nervous to start out with, so I'll just say that that's sort of, on top is sort of a jittery nervousness, but...
So one thing that's there is just nervousness, some jitteriness, just from being in this situation.
Maybe. Excitement, I think.
Maybe even excitement.
This morning when I awakened, I had a headache on the left side of my head. And I thought, oh, it's a migraine coming on. So I'm just kind of sensing into what that was about. I felt like my body was really full of toxins. Like I just wanted to kind of shake the toxins out.
So even on waking, you noticed that there was the beginning of a headache in the left side of your head. And you spent some time with it, just sensing into it, and the feeling was that there were just lots of toxins in your body. You just wanted to shake them out, shake them off.
And I noticed that my throat is stopped up this morning, and that's something I've been working on. We've been working on together. Is there seems to be a deep emotional something under there that has to do with my throat getting kind of choked up.
Yeah, so you're aware of that right now too, that your throat is choked up again, and that's something we've worked on together before, and that it's connected to deep emotion. It seemed like I even saw maybe a shimmer of tears come there as you spoke about that. So maybe just be with that, just sit with that choked up.
What bothers me about it is I keep trying to clear my throat, and it doesn't clear. I just keep trying to clear it, and it prevents me from speaking the way I want to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's annoying to people, I think.
Ah.
It somehow prevents prevents me from projecting my voice. So I keep trying to get it out, and it just stays there. It's
So what bothers you is you keep trying to clear your throat, clear it out, but it won't go away. And it's not just that it bothers you, but you think that it makes it difficult for other people, that you're trying to project your voice, trying to get it out, but you can't, and that's hard for the other people too, that you can't really get it out, you can't really speak.
It really prevents communication, and
yeah, so that sounds like the crux of it. It really prevents communication. So can you just hear those words and just take them inside and just sit with it gently, this whole thing in your throat, the way that you try to clear it, but it won't go away, and it blocks you, it prevents communication, and that hurts or that's hard. So just sit with the subtle feel of all of that right there in your chest and throat, just being with it gently, like you would with a hurting child, just sitting at the edge of it and maybe see what wants to come from there, from that feeling in your throat, that blocking, and just being gentle with yourself, seeing what comes.
I don't know if it's the throat that, and trying to clear it, that makes me feel exhausted, but I just feel it's like a weight on my shoulders. Feels really heavy, kind of exhausted feeling, and I've been trying to get more rest because I do have this physical challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But even sleeping till 1 I don't feel better. I still feel like I'm dragging this weight around with me, kind of on my shoulders, feels like there's a bar across my shoulders with pails of water hanging on it, like it's really digging into my shoulders, this weight, kind of really heavy.
Yes, and again, it looked like there might be just a shimmer of tears coming with that image. That as you talk about this thing in your throat, you feel that exhaustion, that tiredness of carrying this weight on your shoulders, and it's as if there's a yoke across your shoulders, a big bar with big buckets on the end that you have to carry, and a tiredness, and no matter how much you sleep or how much you rest, it's still there, the tiredness of carrying this, the effort to speak, having to clear your throat to even just try to be heard, such a tiredness that goes with it. And again, to just be gentle with that, put your arms around that place. It looks like there's a little tearfulness. To just stay with the edge of that, just loving that place of tiredness, being with it.
It's frustrating because I want to just lift it off and put it down. I don't want to carry all this weight around with me. I'm really tired of carrying this weight around.
Yes, I hear that.
Yes. It's been so long that I've been carrying it. I'm really tired of carrying it.
Yes. Yes. You're just so tired of carrying it. And you say, it's been so long. I've been carrying it so long. And I just wish I could just take it and lift it off and put it down. And the tears are there. It's been so long. And I'm so tired. And I want to be able to put it down. So again, just being gentle with yourself.
why can't I just put it down and just walk lightly and dance even and just skip? Why can't I? Why can't I just be light? Too. I'm really tired of being heavy.
Why can't I just put it down and be light and even skip and be joyful?
I'm tired of sleeping all day. I want to be like, I want to be able to function in the world. I want to be able to work all day. I don't care. I just, I want to be able to go out in the evenings and be with people. I want to be able to socialize with people. I feel so isolated.
And again, the words are, I'm so tired. Why can't I just put this down and be like other people? I'm tired of sleeping all day. I want to be able to go out at night and socialize and play. I would love to be able to work all day. I would like all of those things. I don't want this burden anymore. I don't need to be carrying this anymore. Why can't I put it down? I'm ready to be free of this. It makes me sad to be carrying this. And again, just putting your arms around that feeling and trusting that this is the healing, to be with it, not to just carry that tiredness, but to actually be touching it, putting your arms around it right now, being with those tears.
It feels like some of the pressure is released in my head.
So it even feels like some of the pressure is released in your head. So maybe just a tiny little crack in that heavy veil almost that you carry. Just a little crack in it, a little pressure released. Maybe just a little glimmer of lightness.
That was really a powerful session that you allowed us to share. That particular video segment, we purposely left it with her coming to that shift, that release, where she was crying. Can you help the audience a little bit with where was she at that point in your mind and what transpired after that for her?
Firstly, let me just mention this was not planned, but it happened that the day of the taping she woke up with a migraine headache, or the day before. So this ended up being exactly about looking for the felt meaning in the physical symptoms. So I was delighted, and I feel like we captured a moment of mind-body change right on the tape, so I'm delighted. What was happening earlier in the tape, when she began to cry, it was very painful. I'm carrying this heavy thing. I don't want to carry that anymore. It was so painful. And then after the shift, in realizing what I want is to dance, the tears were much lighter and much more peaceful. And she was beginning to experience in her body what it's like to be light. So I saw that as a step in the new direction. Where do you want to be? And when she walks away from that, she'll carry that new place in her body. Focusing, the felt shift in focusing is like a kaleidoscope turning. You know, you turn a kaleidoscope and then the whole picture is different. You have that moment of working with your body, and then the whole picture is different. You can walk out. She said after the session her headache was greatly relieved. New ideas for how to solve life problems happen. New creative impulses arise. There's just lots of energy that's released. So again, wanting the audience to know that this was a very positive forward movement for her.
Well, and also, which was determined for us in our first episode with you, that is one way of utilizing focusing, to allow the pain or the illness in the body to be reached, to allow it to become either a language or an expression of the body for release. But also, it's a magnificent tool to help blockage with creative individuals, or just discovering a new way, a new perspective to go in life. Can you speak a little more to that?
Yes, and you at home, you can try this out. Focusing is great to do when you're stuck. It's like when you're stuck with anything. What should I do with my job? What should I do with my relationship? What should I do with my book? What should I do with my sculpture that I'm making? And when you feel stuck, stop and just go inside and sit quietly for a minute just to give your body a little time to relax. It's hard to focus if you're like this, all turned into cement. So give yourself just a minute to go inside. And then the main thing about focusing is just sitting with the thing that's stuck. If you just sit with it in a loving way, saying, okay, what is all this stuckness? Why am I stuck? And sit quietly and gently, willing to listen, and get the feel for the whole thing in here, in the center. In a minute or two, some words or an image will pop up, and suddenly you'll find yourself saying, oh, it's that. Oh, that's why I'm stuck. And then you can start problem solving, because now at least you know what it is. It's not always a good thing that you find out. It's like, oh, it's because I'm worried that my father is sick. It's like, oh, that's not a great thing, and I haven't solved it, but my whole body will go, shoo. It's like my body doesn't have to keep nudging me and trying to make me remember that. Now I know, oh, I'm worried my dad is sick. Now I can call my dad up, or I can take some action. So try it at home when you're stuck. Just sit with the stuck place, and it will unfold. There must be a good metaphor, some kind of a lotus flower, or sitting with an acorn and trusting that if you just be with it, the tree will come out. It's all in there. In that stuckness is the next step. So if you can just sit with what's stuck, it'll unfold.